Hello, Aquarius. How's it going, you guys? Kay loves tarot. Let's do your end of January weeklies. These ones are resonating from the 25th to 31st of July, 2019. Aquarius, Sun, Moon and Rising. Aquarius, one messages for Aquarius. That time period. Let's find out, you guys. So, Aquarius, you got the Knight of Cups in the reverse, the Devil in the reverse, and Judgment in the reverse. Interesting. This is more about, I want to say, if there's been any kind of toxicity involving something particular that you've been going through. And when I say toxic, with the Knight of Cups, this is getting out of needy, clingy relationships, codependent relationships, needy, clingy, jealous behavior. Really, really toxic. Obsessive as well, but obsessive. Judgment in the reverse. This is something that you do not want to repeat again. Moving forward, we've got the Ace of Swords, the Two of Pentacles, and the Five of Swords in the reverse. So really, this is more about getting a new perspective on how you may have been in a relationship. That's how this feels to me. I really don't think that there is any other aspect other than love that I can read this reading in. So like I say, there's a new perspective. We're going to fight for it. All right, it's a little bit overwhelming. You may be taking on more than you can handle, but you know you can do this. So for some of you, it's either someone you're dealing with or it's you yourself. And this really is a new perspective on behavioural traits within a relationship or within dating. Maybe there's been this repetition of this in the past. You know, it's happened before and you've wondered why relationships have failed or why someone may have gave up on you. I feel like this could be a wink, wink, nudge, nudge to a lot of you. And this does speak of needy, clingy, jealous, obsessive behaviours, okay? I'm going to throw you guys a couple of romance angels and then I'll clarify this. So you got religious factors. Love life is influenced by religious upbringing and spiritual path. I have got something to say about this regarding YouTube tarot readings. Bear with me. Aquarius. Calling in a soulmate. Okay. Let me talk about this. As soon as I saw it, I know exactly what it was. Thank God for my good spirit guide, Angela. We need to talk about YouTube tarot readings. Some of you may have been a little bit obsessed of late. And it's so strange that we're doing this on a YouTube damn tarot reading. Right. Maybe some of you guys need a wake-up call. This feels to me like some of you may have had someone who's shut you out, maybe walked away temporarily, and we're constantly obsessing over what they're up to. Maybe this is just an argument and there's no breakup as of yet. And this is just that obsession over pointing the finger at them, that someone else has got the issue. When Spirit is saying there's someone who's definitely watching this that has the issue and maybe are in a little bit of denial. Someone out there needs to hear this. Instead of, because it's such a simple problem, instead of blaming others, instead of pointing the finger, I'm not saying all of you are, so don't bash me. I have to speak the truth in the cards. That's what this is all about. I ain't no baker, I don't sugarcoat shit. This is about taking responsibility for your behaviour and your actions, especially when it comes to clingy, needy, obsessive behaviour. And this is to say, look, this has been toxic. We're getting out of this now. We're getting out of this. We need a new perspective on how to correct this and make this right. And unfortunately, trying to spy on someone through YouTube tarot readings is not going to solve this problem. That is exactly why that card is there. Say, this is not going to solve it. What's going to solve it is taking responsibility for yourself and for the way you may have been. It's hard, especially if this really is heavily, or has been heavily obsessive. You know what I mean? Constantly wondering why someone maybe has rejected you, why a relationship is on the rocks. Because like I say, I'm not actually seeing a breakup here for couples. For singletons, again, this may be obsessing over an ex, not fully understanding why it ended. And unfortunately, Spirit's giving you guys a bit of a reality check with this reading. Sort of say, the problem ain't with anyone else, the problem's internally with you. And that sounds really patronizing. I know. But you know what? If it makes you feel any better, Spirit gave me a few years ago the same bleeding lecture. And do you know what? I actually, for the first time back then, listened. And funnily enough, I'm happier and I'm not obsessive. Well, Scorpios can be naturally obsessive, but I've got my moon is in Aquarius. So I know I have got similar traits to you guys anyway. But this isn't an Aquarius trait. I'm just reading for those that have been like this with someone lately, or is being like this with someone now. Spirit really is saying to you guys, wake the fuck up and realize the problem lies with you. And that doesn't mean to say that this should knock your self-confidence in any way. If anything, this new perspective on the situation as a whole should help improve your self-confidence. To realize that maybe you have been like this because you know you've got so much to give, and maybe it's been given to the wrong person that can't quite understand, or can't, maybe I always say there's no smoke without fire. Maybe someone's gave you reason to be obsessive or suspicious or a bit needy and clingy. But again, this just goes to show that maybe some of you have been relying on someone else way too much to give you happiness, when you are quite capable of giving it to yourself. And that really is what the devil's all about. Instead of this entrapment phase of entrapping yourself in these energies and trying to entrap somebody else within a relationship that would have otherwise been toxic because of those energies, they're trying to say, listen, we can totally turn this around. If you want a happier relationship in the future, if this has been repetitive behavior and you've never fully understood it, let's start looking back now. Let's start reflecting now. That's really what this reading is saying to you guys. Your future is worth fighting for. Your love life in the future is worth fighting for. So let's clarify the shit out of this. Right. Knight of Cups for Aquarius. Knight of Cups for Aquarius. Right. Look, there we go. Too much. I'm seeing here a relationship or it's a relationship from the past that would have otherwise worked had it not been for very needy, clingy, obsessive and jealous behavior. It's a relationship that probably would have worked out. I'm just going to say that. That's going to piss some of you off. But guess what? I have to read the cards. Can't just tell you what you want to hear for the sake of it. For some of you, if you're already in a relationship, like I said before, my intuition is never wrong with this shit. It can be saved. It is worth fighting for. You just need a new perspective. Of course, it's going to be overwhelming because you've got to learn how to be again in a relationship in a whole different way. But at the same time, it's worth the fight. If you're single, do not for 1 second think this means a relationship's going to come back around. This is just there to make you guys feel really, 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 really shitty. To say, guess what? It probably would have worked out if you didn't get all obsessive. Hard lines, I know. All right, the devil in the reverse. Let's find out what that is. Sorry, you guys. Like I say, I ain't no baker. I'm a realist. I have to be. I'd rather tell you guys the worst truth than the best lie, because there's no way I want to lead anyone on with this stuff. I want to get people out of the funk they get themselves into. Over the devil, the fool in the reverse. Don't take any risks. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't go calling, thinking that this means a second chance. Judgment is in the reverse. This is just Spirit's way of being a bit bitchy now and saying, yeah, guess what? You know, if you didn't actually go down that route, it would have worked. No risky behavior. We're getting out of toxicity, not back into it. So if you're having a bit of a desperate moment in the next week, don't do it. Put the phone down. 2 here. With Judgment, Hermit, and the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse. Now, again, the Wheel of Fortune, I see it very likened to the Star. There is still hope. This can turn around your favour. It's just bad timing. That's what that card means. The Hermit is in place. So this is where you take a step back and reflect on what we've just discussed. Right? And don't forget, speaking of the Star, the Hermit carries the Star in his lantern. So the Star and the Tower is all about your hopes, your goals, your wishes, your dreams, your desires. The Hermit is you taking a step back to figure out how you can get what you want. Okay, so we've got a lot of reflection needing to play out here. Right, what's this Ace of Swords about? So I've got the Ten of Cups in the reverse. So again, this is wondering why when tens are in the reverse like that, I always say it's getting so close to where you want to be, getting so close, and hitting a brick wall, hitting a dead end. And again, it's just new perspective on why that happened, why we hit that dead end, why we got so close to where this was supposed to go and hitting that dead end. It's just explaining new perspective, realization, not doing this again. Let's see. I'm going to leave that one because I know what that one is. Let's take a look. What's worth the fight personally for Aquarius? So we've got a lack of a gesture and the Four of Cups. So again, don't allow this to make you feel like what you have to offer isn't good enough. What you have to offer is absolutely good enough in the right frame of mind. This right here is batshit crazy. This really is batshit crazy. And yeah, to see them two together, I think Spirit wants you guys to feel awful. But don't let it. Don't let it. This is where I have to hit you guys, you know, with the softy, which I'm not very good at. As a natural born Scorpio, unfortunately, I don't have much of a soft side, but I'm going to have to. This really more is about you realising that what you have got to offer is enough, that you on your own are enough, and that the right person, because don't forget, this does not mean a fucking soulmate at all. This just means there was a good emotional connection that was tarnished by that. But this sort of say what you have to offer is good enough elsewhere, and that you have to fight here for your future, and that you really have got some hard work to put in here, Aquarius, in order to rectify these issues. Because no one's going to put up with it. That's the thing. No one in the right frame of mind is going to put up with that kind of behaviour from anyone. And I feel like that's where the insecurity comes from with that page in the reverse. That feeling that what you have to offer just isn't good enough because up until now, you've not really, no one's wanted to take it, maybe. Or the right ones haven't wanted to take it. And again, this is where reflection comes into play to say, right, listen, there is still hope. There is still hope. It's just a case of bad timing. Maybe you were in a rough spot. Maybe you were grieving. Maybe you were going through a bout of depression. Maybe there's a valid reason for why you're a bit of a hot mess through this. And they're just trying to say, this is just more about putting a little bit more care, time, and effort into changing your perspective, into changing these behaviors, into not having to rely on someone so much to make you feel happy. This is about you taking a step back to realize what makes you happy on your own without needing to get that from someone else. Now, when we say calling in a soulmate, that's came out for a reason, Aquarius. What this means is Spirit's usually got their way of giving you an incentive, and this looks like the incentive. It does say your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. So how can we call in this soulmate? Because clearly something's gone awry here, okay, but it's gone awry for a good reason. You weren't probably in the best place in your life at the time. Let's explain soulmates first. Soulmates are usually two people, two souls that have made a contract, a pact in a previous life to meet in the next life for one of two reasons. It's either for a lesson to be learned, which is usually the case, or it's for the blessing. I suppose some people could call that the twin flame effect, who knows. But when we're calling in a soulmate, two souls that come together is let's say it's the blessing kind. If one's fucked up and one's in a really good place in their life where they're not fucked up, it puts too much pressure on them to make the other feel good about themselves. And that's not how this works. Spirit will never, ever, ever throw you, any kind of a blessing like that if you're in a hot mess. Because it's going to put way too much pressure on the other to make you feel happy again. And it's not their place to do that. How can you enjoy each other's company? How can you grow? How can you establish that soul connection if one's too fucked up for it? So this, again, is about you being happy on your own 2 feet. And by the time that this comes in, call in what you want now. Just utilize the time that you've got between now and then, whenever this falls into your lap, I suppose, to really correct this shit and get a grip on it now. If Spirit's saying get a grip on this now, it's for a reason. They've got someone waiting in the wings for you. That's usually how this works, you guys. They can't offer you what you want if you ain't ready to accept it. And we've all got a path, we've all got a destiny, we've all got a place to go and a place to be. And they love giving a helping hand with this stuff. But they can't be damned if they're going to get when you're not ready. And this is now the time to start getting ready. It's time now for your new perspective, for the new way of looking at this, and to actually figure out what makes you happy on your own. If you're bored, if that's the case, we're sat at home twiddling the thumbs, we're concentrating way too much on what someone else is up to. We get obsessive, needy, clingy, even a bit jealous and suspicious. It's sort of say, you need something that's going to take your time up and take your fucking mind off this. This is just an indication you may have had too much time in your hands. Or even if you've been busy and still obsessing over this, again, maybe medical help is needed if that is the case, because that is really drastic. I usually see this sort of stuff when someone's got way too much time on their hands. Start changing shit now, Aquarius, because you guys got something coming in and you're going to want to prepare for that. Find what makes you happy on your own. That is the key to this message. Find what makes you happy on your own. No more obsessive. You got a spiritual path you're being led down. They can't give you or get you to meet in the middle with whoever you really want when you're not ready for it. I'll leave that there. If anyone wants personal reading, if you dare, after that reading, don't worry. I'm harsh, don't get me wrong, but I'm not completely brutal. And I do have a soft side. I joke about that, but I do have a soft side, you guys. Right then, I'll leave that there. But like I say, the email's in the description if you want to drop me an email for a personal. In the meantime, though, I wish you a wonderful end to January. You guys got some work to do. Get to work. We'll speak soon. I'll be back on the 1st of Feb. Take care. Bye for now.